Are you still in waiting mode? Waiting for your twin flame to return? Wondering when separation will end? Wondering when union is going to happen? But when we're in waiting mode, we're actually delaying things, because when we're in waiting mode, it means we still have something to heal. So we have to heal what we need to heal in order to come to a place of surrender. Surrender to the outcome, surrender to divine timing, and surrender to the truth. And surrender to the fact that it's out of your hands. And go from waiting into knowing. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. So, are you waiting or are you surrendered? Because for me, it kind of flips between the two at the moment. A lot. I think I'm in surrender when I'm actually in waiting, and I'm like, then something comes up to heal, and you're like, I've been in waiting mode, not surrender. And that's it. We can confuse the two a little bit. Well, for me, I can anyway. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm surrendered. I know it's going to happen. I'm in calm. I'm in, faith. I'm okay on my own. I'm happy. And then all of a sudden, bang, this fucking another tower comes in, or another bout of healing, another trigger. And I'm like, oh, shit. And don't get me wrong, because when I'm in waiting surrender, I don't know what we'll call it for the minute, I'm always kind of going, right, I understand that my twin has stuff to heal. And I ask the angels, what do I need to heal? Because I know obviously it's mirrored energy. If he's still working on stuff, it means I have to work on stuff. And every day I'm doing some things and all that kind of stuff. And I've been working on my unworthiness wound again for the last couple of months. That was really triggered. And, obviously I've been consistently working at it. But until I proper deep dived into it and found the cause and the source of it, I was like, this wake up call. It was like, shit, man, I've been actually waiting for the last few months. I wasn't surrendered at all. And it, I'll describe some of the energy that I have anyway when I'm in a waiting mode. It's like, you're constantly looking at your phone. Constantly. And obviously I use my phone for connecting on social media and stuff like that. So, I have to use my phone a lot. But it's not even like using your phone. You're picking up your phone to look at the screen. And I can hear my phone most of the time. So therefore, I'm going to know if there's a message come in. And actually, another thing, right? For a while there at the start, every time my phone went off, it was like, is it him? Is it him? Is it him? I actually had to change the ringtone for his messages. Because every time, my phone would ding, I'm like, oh my God, it's him. And it's like, now I have a unique ringtone for any of his messages, because it's just like, at least now I know if I get this weird ding on my phone, it's him. But when I'm in waiting mode, even though I changed the ringtone, I'm in waiting mode and I'm constantly picking up the phone. And I'm literally just looking at the screen and putting it back down. And I'm like, I didn't even realize what I was doing until I started to go in depth into my healing again. And I was like, you're literally checking your phone continuously. For what? He's not going to text you. You just, it's not happening right now. That any of this delay and you looking at your phone all the time is literally delaying the connection, because you're avoiding healing. And I'm not deliberately avoiding my healing. Of course I'm not. I'm consistently on a healing journey. I'm every day introspecting, every day going within, every day asking myself those questions. What do I need to heal? Asking the angels to guide me, all of that kind of stuff. So I'm not avoiding my healing. But when I get into the depths of the core wound, and I'm realizing, I'm looking back over the last couple of weeks, couple of months, I'm like, was I really surrendered? No, I wasn't. And it was funny because it's just this big wound. Obviously I've been going through that unworthiness wound for the last 2 months, trying to figure out the source of it. And I figured out the source of it yesterday. I literally sat there and I went, yeah, I wasn't surrendered. I was literally waiting. It was, I may as well have just been sitting at the front door staring at it. That's the way I was on an unconscious level. So, I didn't even realize I was waiting until I surrendered. And this happens to me. I was like, it's constant. I met my twin a year ago, and literally ever since, it's like I go from waiting to surrender. And it's like, and as I said, I don't even know I'm waiting until I surrender. And I'm like, fuck, I did it again. And it was just like, obviously I know I'm continuously healing and I have stuff to heal. But yesterday especially, I was like, oh my God, how big is this wound that I'm fucking healing? No wonder things are delayed. You know what I mean? And it kind of brings me back into this moment of, Jesus, finally. It's like really is finally. And it feels like the last 2 months have been really dragged out. And it's just like, it feels more dragged out because I was in waiting rather than fucking surrender. And it's just like, oh my God, how do I escape this? And it is really about that introspection. Ask yourself this: are you checking your phone all the time? And if you don't have a unique ringtone for your twin flame, are you constantly, every time the phone goes off, going, oh, it's them? And it's just like, oh, come on, we're not fucking teenagers, like, you know what I mean? And it's really about detaching yourself from that. And I've done that now a bit lately. I've just left my phone away from me until I actually want to use it for work. I will just leave it away from me. I'm trying to stay off social media a little bit as well. But it's not even that I've been excessively on social media. It's literally I'm picking up the phone going, is there a message? And this is not a fucking message. I would have heard it. You know what I mean? And like that kind of energy, it distances things. Because, when you're still in the depths of this healing, you're obviously trying to figure out what you need to heal. And like when I uncovered the core of the wound that I was going through the last couple of months, I was just like, no wonder he hasn't come back. I haven't been ready. I'm sitting there and waiting, but twiddling my thumbs going, I'm ready. And it's just like, no, you're not. No, you're not. And it's like, then that's that surrender energy. Then you're like, oh my God, obviously I'm not ready right now. I have this big wound to contend with. And, in overcoming that, then we come back into surrender mode. And I think this happens, isn't it? It's that back and forth energy. Like we meet up, we go into waiting mode. Unconsciously we're in waiting mode thinking, yay, I'm high now because I've seen him. And it's like, oh, everything's brilliant. I don't have to do anything. And then bang, the tower moment comes in. You got this healing to do. And then you're like, I was waiting. I wasn't surrendering. And then you do the healing and you surrender for a while. Then they come back. And then it all happens again. And it will keep happening like that again and again until you both have the right things healed. And that's the way it's supposed to happen. Because every time you connect with your twin, whether it's through text message or physically, that is going to reactivate another round of healing. So, and because we're so excited that we got the fucking communication, we go into waiting mode because we don't forget, but we're just on such a high from being together. It's like, yay, we're back together, yay, we're going to go into union. And then all of a sudden it's like weeks and months are passing and you're like, but why is it so long? And then you're like, because I have something else to heal. And because I've literally been sitting here with twiddling my thumbs for the last 2 months. And that's the thing, like obviously when we're in separation, we're doing that introspection, we're doing that healing, we're following our life purpose. That's the main objective of separation, is the healing and pursuing your goals. This is what we're doing. And we are doing it. So we're not effectively completely waiting. We're not sitting at the front door staring at it. We're not. Do you know what I mean? But energetically we kind of are, because there's just that block there. And it's only when we uncover that block that we start to realize that we were in kind of a waiting mode. We might see, and I think that's why we get confused at times. Well, it is for me anyway. It's because I am doing the work. I am doing the healing. I am every day, digging a little bit deeper. And I am doing my purpose work. So, I'm moving forward with my life separately. So that's fine. And that's why I don't ever see it as I'm waiting. I see that as surrender, as in I'm getting on with my own life. But it's like the two are intertwined. And it's like this unconscious thing within me is in waiting mode. It is checking that phone all the time. It's like literally, I turn my phone on silent when I'm doing my course. And literally, I'm just picking up the phone every few minutes going like this. I'm like, no, will you stop? You know, and it's so funny. It really is, like, you know, and then it's only after that. It's only literally since, you know, yesterday doing really deep core healing. And I was just like, oh, everything I'm doing is really, you know, giving off that energy of desperation, of waiting. And I know now, because of the deep core wound that I was saying yesterday, because I think a lot of us are collectively going through stuff anyway. The unworthiness wound was really triggered over the last couple of months. And, you know, it really affected me in loads of areas of my life. I was starting new projects and I was getting imposter syndrome, starting new courses, getting imposter syndrome, all that kind of stuff. And then that was initially about my personality, you know, afraid I wasn't going to fit into these places. And then it flipped into my appearance. And I had some very deep issues around my appearance, you know, surface lately. And it was only when I got to the source of that problem yesterday that I actually started to look back over the last couple of months and see the kind of behavior I was doing. And I was just like, oh, I was waiting. I wasn't surrendered. And it's just like, oh, no wonder there was a fucking delay. But at least, like, you know, sometimes when we're going through that waiting mode, we're getting frustrated. We're like, when is this going to happen? Is it ever going to happen? And obviously it's so connected because, you know, obviously my unworthiness wound is connected to why, you know, he hasn't come back yet, as well as, you know, past stuff. And I have to work through that. But, like, you know, when you heal that certain side of you, you're like, I don't need this. You know, I don't need that validation. I'm okay on my own. I'm happy. I'm okay with when it happens, or if it doesn't happen, I'm okay with that. I'm letting go of the outcome. And that's what it is. That's what this surrender is. It's not worrying about when it will happen. It's not worrying about if it will happen, because you know it will. You're literally feeling safe and secure within yourself that you have already been chosen, not just by your twin, but also by yourself. Understanding that it is out of your hands completely. The only thing you can do is your healing and your surrendering. Trusting in the universe, trusting in divine timing, trusting that it is inevitable once you get through the depths of the healing and come out of fucking waiting mode. And that's what it is. And, like, you know, I still have a few things to obviously work on here, but you know, it's there's a fucking very fine line between waiting and surrendering, because sometimes you're like, they're intertwined, and, like, you know, that's the part that I suppose confuses us, because we're doing the stuff, we're doing the healing, we're moving forward with our purpose, but yet we're staring at the fucking phone or staring at the front door going, oh my God, when's it gonna happen? Do you know what I mean? And that's it. We just need to let go. Let it go. Do you know what I mean? And just trust. And that's connected to that unworthiness wound, as I just spoke about, because one of the biggest things we have to heal on this journey is our own self-worth. And to come to a place of unconditionally loving ourselves and not to seek outside ourselves for that validation. So, and I think the biggest thing that makes union delayed is us sitting there going, why haven't they chosen me? Why have they rejected me? Why have they behaved this way? What is wrong with me? And if we're continuously asking what's wrong with me, it means that we have something to heal. And that's, I suppose, one of the biggest wounds we do have to heal on this journey. So it is all interconnected, and we will come out of waiting mode when we stop worrying about whether or not they'll choose us, because they have already chosen us, but we need to choose ourselves. And we need to heal our wounding around why we haven't chosen ourselves in the past, why we haven't loved ourselves in the past, why we don't see that ourselves as worthy of love. So it's in healing this that we can come into surrender. It's in healing this that we can come out of waiting. And do yourself a favour. Change the ringtone of your Twin Flames notifications and put your phone away for a while. Stop picking it up. Stop looking at it. Because, you know, if you're anything like me, you're going to be doing that. And you're going to be stalking their social media as well. Stop doing that, because that's a desperation energy as well. You know, so we have to kind of train ourselves not to look at the phone, not to get overexcited every time we hear a text message going, oh my God, it's them. Not stare at the front door. Not sit there waiting. And just trust. Trust that it is all unfolding as it's supposed to. Trust in yourself and do that healing required, and surrender. Know that it's real. Know that it's happening. Know that it is inevitable, and that the universe will bring you back together in divine timing. So stop wondering about the hows, stop wondering about when, and just know that it will happen, but after you stop waiting, and only when you surrender. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you would like help on your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I'd love nothing more than to help on your path.